Let's call the meeting to order for the Dickinson County Commission, April the 25th, and stand for the flag salute, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have Lynn Peterson on the phone with us here today. So everybody's here, and then we'll be honing in if you hear the phone message or what he says. Why, if anybody has any questions, speak up a little bit so he can hear you. I have approval for the agenda, the approval for the 2018 audit. Do I hear a motion?
So move we approve the agenda as printed.
Do I hear a second on the motion? I'll second the motion on the audit. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We have a consent agenda. The minutes of the April 18th meeting, fund expenditures of $234,364.20.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Do I hear a second on the approval? Any discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
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 That's approved, okay. Commissioners' comments and reports. Lynn, do you want to start out? Anything?
I really don't have anything, so thank you.
Okay, Craig?
I have nothing.
And I don't have anything also, so. Presentations, petitions and proclamations. Do we have a proclamation here? Okay.
2 copies of it.
Okay. Would you come up and explain the proclamation? And this is a proclamation to declare, am I correct, April the 28th through May the 5th, HOPE, H-O-P-E, Center Emphasis Week. Okay. And if you will read this to us, please. What this?
Okay. Do you want your spokesperson?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
That's fine.
You come up over the camera here if you guys get in here. I'll slide up.
I just want to explain to you that probably most of you are aware that HOPE stands for Helping Our People in Emergencies, and that's what we're all about, to help folks with that are down to the luck, that need some help with utilities, other needs. And we also have a house down on South Cedar that we let folks use for up to 90 days when they need a place to live rent-free. So that's kind of a summary of what we're on. So I'll go ahead and read this.
Sure.
Hope Center 2019 Week of Emphasis Proclamation. Whereas it is a long-held value in American life and a strong Kansas tradition to support one's neighbors in times of need. Whereas ongoing efforts to balance state and federal budgets and the resulting changes in programs to assist those in need continue to call for more involvement from the private sector to provide support and assistance to individuals and families whose circumstances may at times leave them without such basic needs of life as safe shelter, clothing, food, and medical care. Whereas the Hope Center was established in 1991 by persons from several organizations in our larger community to help our people in emergencies. Whereas the Hope Center has for 28 years brought together the resources of our community to serve our neighbors in times of need, seeking to fill the gaps between personal and family resources, assistance offered by government agencies, and aid available from other charitable organizations, while at the same time stretching available help by eliminating duplication of services. Whereas all citizens should become more aware of the needs of their neighbors, of efforts within the community to address those needs in caring and responsible way, and of opportunities to lend their support to these efforts. Now therefore, the Dickinson County Commission does hereby proclaim the week of April 28th to May 5th as Hope Center Emphasis Week in Dickinson County, recognize more than a quarter of a century of work of the Hope Center, and call citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, and businesses to a greater recognition of the needs of their neighbors.
Do I hear a motion to approve the proclamation for the week, April the 28th through?
So moved.
Do I hear a second on that motion?
Second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same. Motion carried. Thank you, guys.
And thank you for your
Thank you.
support.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'd stand up, but
Yeah, no, that's it. It's a little
I tell you what,
crowded.
you might
It's a little
give just a
crowded.
little more, how the number of people you kind of serve and stuff.
Okay.
If I could
Oh.
tell, look this way.
Oh, no, thank you. Not setting up tall enough, Kathy?
You look great.
You get that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can bring statistics
Boy, I
with
didn't
me,
bring
but,
statistics.
but, we help probably an average of, I'm gonna guess, 40 to, between 40 and 100 people a month is usually what our reports are as far as people that come into the office for
Oh,
help.
that's substantial.
I think that, I just saw the other day, it was around 120 some for the year, and to this date, you know,
And some
in the
of those are
40s or
repeats,
something.
too.
Okay,
So that's
right.
probably,
somewhat.
you know, yeah,
Yeah,
because we're
so
only.
it varies,
yeah.
it varies. You know, it depends on when, I guess utility companies have an agreement, the cold weather rule, when that goes off, you know, folks tend to come in when they need help with, utilities is probably the biggest thing we help with.
And rent, yeah.
Rent,
is
utilities.
another
Yeah.
one.
Offices down there in the Sunflower Building. Teresa Coleman
Oh, yes.
is there, from 9 to 11 every morning,
Yeah.
and Teresa
I
Wise
see.
are also volunteer, and we have I think an 8-member board, so.
Well, that's a wonderful program,
Well-
obviously being used quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we are also, work with the distribution of funds that come into Dickinson County from Salvation Army.
Oh,
So we are
wow.
the distributing group for that.
Okay, good.
And
good.
funds through the Jeff Coat Foundation too have been just, and they have to be used for families with children.
I see.
You can't use them just for adults, so.
Got several different things.
Yeah.
Minnesota's
That's the size
seems
of
ringing the
one.
bells.
Ringing the
for
bells
Oh,
at
yeah,
Christmas
so
time,
stop in
Angel
and support.
Tree
We're doing
and
that, too.
Shumco.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
good.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
everybody for their
Thanks.
support.
Uh-huh. Thanks.
Mom, do you want to sign that and we'll give them
Yeah.
a copy?
Yes.
We'll give you a copy of it.
All of us sign this here, Fred?
I think it's.
That's just you.
Okay, she says she doesn't want
This, other, proclamation, are they here?
Yeah, there's people out in the hall.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's two of these also,
Okay.
and you both sign it.
Okay.
3 of you can cut up front.
Yep.
3 of us sit up front. Bunch, good.
Ladies can
This-
cut up front. Well, I guess I already got in there, Sandy.
This is for a proclamation to declare the first week of May as Detention and Correction Officers Week. And if I can have a representative come up here and read this to us here, if you will, please.
Yeah, I can read it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. May 5th through the 11th, 2019, whereas correction officers have the difficult and oftentimes dangerous assignments of ensuring the custody, safety, and well-being over 2.3 million inmates in our nation's prisons and local jails. And whereas their performance is essential to the day-to-day operation of these institutions, and without them, it would be impossible to achieve the foremost institutional goals of security and control. And whereas historically, correction officers have been viewed as guards, occupying isolated and misunderstood positions in prisons and jails. Over the years, the duties of these officers have become increasingly complex and demanding. They are called upon to fill simultaneously custodial, supervisory, and counseling roles. The professionalism, dedication, and courage exhibited by these men and women throughout the performance of these demanding and often conflicting roles deserve our most up respect. And whereas the important work of our correction officers does not receive the recognition from the public that it deserves, it is appropriate that we honor the many contributions and accomplishments of these individuals who are virtual components to our civilized society. And whereas it is in recognition of the contribution of the correction officers in our county, our state, and our nation, the Congress of the United States of America in 1984 designated the first week of May of each year as National Correction Officer Week. And now therefore be resolved that the Commissioners of Dixon County do hereby declare the week of May 5th through the 11th of 2019 the National Correction Officers Week in Dixon County, in honor of these men and women whose diligence and professionalism help keep our county and citizens safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the first week of May as Detention and Correction Officers Week? Or a motion for that? I'll make a motion. There's a second on the motion?
I'll second, okay, you know, I've been waiting for you, Lynn.
Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Okay, I'm gonna come out here, since I'm crippled, I'm gonna come and shout and take everyone in your hand, because I do appreciate what you do and stuff. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Provide safety for our county.
I can't, I got a broken leg right now. I'm getting longer than I was. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll give you that.
Okay, while you guys are there, why don't y'all stand up against that wall so she can get a picture of you.
You wanna go in the hallway? Yeah, probably better there.
It might be a little wide here, let's go to the hallway.
Yeah.
If you're up to it.
Thanks again, ladies.
We're gonna get a picture out in the hallway.
Barbie coming out?
She don't like pictures either.
I'm not a commissioner.
My head hurts.
Doug, coming out for this picture?
I didn't know it's
What part of this?
hallway.
You go ahead.
No, you're part of the team.
Well, I am, but I'm also a judge.
Okay.
We don't want to rain on their parades.
When they left you, they're in the hallway.
They did an awesome job. Did an awesome job. Way underpaid.
Absolutely. At least the deputies, when they come to work, are gonna have some good things happen in their shift. In this job, you're dealing with negativity the whole 12 hours, because there's nobody in jail that appreciates being there.
Does, I know Clarence Garten used to come donate, somebody come in.
I think
for
they still do it
religious-
for ministerial lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they still do once every week or once every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it used to be on Saturday afternoon, I don't know if it still is or not. And there's some of it that help, some of it's.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's like
Pretty typical.
any out in the world, some it helps, and some.
Yeah.
We were just outside taking a picture there in the hallway, Lynn.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
We're gonna Photoshop you in, Lynn.
Yeah. Okay, reports from officers, and I'm not trying to rush you there.
Don't worry, you won't.
Brad?
Okay, well, as you saw last week when we went out and looked, and can expect Carmel Boulevard's been completed. APAC Shears got that portion, both lifts put in earlier this week, and they got both sides of the interstate on Fair Road completed as well. So they'll move over and do the north side of the Solomon Road here early next week. They had to go to this line and do another sort of project. So we've driven that, it looks very nice, they did an excellent job, so we are very, very happy with that project. We did bid diesel fuel earlier this week. The low bid was Robson's at $2.44 a gallon. MKC came in at $2.47. So in your package, you've got the agenda for the KCCA conference next week, and each one of you are RSVP'd for Wednesday and Thursday. And if you want to go over on Tuesday for the pre-conference, we can set that up, but we didn't reserve anybody for that. This is kind of a big one. You know, you've been hearing us talk about the Tyler project now for well over a year. And I really want to express kudos to Sherry and the IT staff and everybody in law enforcement and Russ with his staff, dispatch. You know, this is a complete renovation of our software program that handles everything from the second the 911 call rings to the second the person's booked out of jail. It goes through the whole adjudication process. It handles all of our public safety calls. This has been a big deal, and I know we've talked about it many times, but I can't stress enough of how big of a project this is. And it kicks off, we flipped the switch on that on May 5th. So you won't have another meeting until after that, but there's been tons of training and tons of testing and tons more training and tons more testing. to make sure that when this happens, we can't afford to have this fail, so, it's mission critical, it's life sensitive in nature, so we're happy with where we're at. It's been, May 5th has been the project kickoff date since the start. We haven't had to delay that. And for the first time in this county's history, we will have some technology in place that we've never had before. This will include mobile data terminals in the law enforcement vehicles and also in the ambulances to be able to manage their calls. So we're really moving up into the 21st century when it comes to technology. And I'm very proud of the way everybody's come together, not only county staff, but city staff with Chapman, Harrington, and Abilene, and the law enforcement components in those communities. So hopefully by the next meeting we have on the, what is it, the 8th or 9th, whatever, then I'll be able to report to you that things are working very well. If they're not working at that point, you probably won't see me because I'm gonna quit and go somewhere. So.
Vacation.
Vacation. Yeah, I'm gonna hide,
Yeah.
so, but
Yeah, you're doing
I
great.
can't give enough accolades to our staff and everybody that's worked on that, so. Another good program we've had for many years is Water Festival. It's happening today out at Browns Park. That's a component of the RAPS program, and we've got about 350 fourth graders that are from all the county schools, and actually a couple schools outside the county that are out at Browns Park as we speak, going through that program. If you have time, they'd love to have you guys stop in out there and look at the program. And Chancey, I know, is out there, and Randy and several people that would give you a little tour and show you some of the exciting things the kids are learning out there about the value of our water in society and how you can treat things and deal with things and conserve. So it's a really cool program, and I'm sure it will go well today. So, and then Russ kind of let the cat out of the bag, but we did have a lightning strike on the 28th of last month over at Chapman that did about $9,000 damage to some radio equipment of ours. We have had TVS get in and replace that. That will be an insurance claim, so we'll have $1,000 loss in the deductible. But I think that was about the first lightning storm of the year, and I don't know whether that's gonna set the standard or what, but we got hit hard and it blew things apart. So we do have lightning, or have radio equipment on several of the co-op elevators around the county for our law enforcement, our fire and EMS communications, and that one just happened to take the hit. So hopefully that's the last thing that gets damaged this year. We can go through, but just kind of give you that update. And that's all I've got.
Doug?
I've got, next week I will have I'll get the publications ready for the KVK application, so that one can be processed through. Visited with Bruce Wright, and we got that situation resolved for the Boda case coming up. And then I'll need 5 minutes of executive session for attorney-client privilege.
Okay.
That will have to be the Thursday after that.
Pardon me?
We won't be meeting next Thursday.
Okay,
So-
I'll get them ready and get them off
Okay.
to Brad.
Did you want the attorney-client today?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought-
Today.
Okay.
But if we won't be meeting next week,
Yeah.
I'll still have the petitions
Yeah.
ready and
Okay.
those documents ready for KVK.
Okay. Notices of communication, I have a publication here from the National Society or Association of the Counties, and that's an article that we could read and get educated on, a good article to bring forth. Introductions and considerations of resolutions, nothing. Unfinished business that we need to talk about, any unfinished business. Okay, other business we have, we need to move, have approval on authorizing Lynn to sign May the 3rd payroll, since we'll be at these meetings coming up here, so we need authorization and approval to make a motion on this.
So moved.
Do I hear a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion to have Lynn sign the checks, the things when we're not here? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, approved, disapproved, carried. All right.
I won't be offended if Barb calls me and reminds me.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
No, we need to approve the audit.
Okay, we need to approve the audit.
And then we need to go into executive session.
Okay, excuse me. Do I hear a motion to approve the 2018 audit?
So moved.
Do I hear a second on that motion? I second it.
Second.
All right, Lynn, you got it second. All those, any discussion?
Yes, Janelle, you want to kind of highlight what we talked about in
Sure, this would be the presentation that April Swartz with Barney Associates presented to us. This is the second year of our audit. It went very smoothly. They were here for 2 days on site to handle that. No, it's a clean audit, no adverse opinions. We ended the year with about 100,000 more than we started the year, so our revenues were up a little bit, and we watched our expenditures, which I appreciate. She communicates with us primarily electronically for reports through the departments, through the treasurer's office, the clerk's office, and the administration office, and I appreciate the work that they've done, so I'm glad that the audit has been presented, and we're ready to start the next one.
Well, I think this is a fine word that you folks, all the folks here at the county are doing a good job. The audit went smooth, it didn't take very long, all positive talk. We're covered well, and you know, some counties I can't say that, so I do appreciate that. Thank you. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? We had discussion, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those disapprove, motion carried. Okay, we'll move into executive session for how many minutes there?
2 minutes.
10 minutes? 5 minutes? All right.
And who's
Yeah.
gonna be in the executive session?
County commissioners and county councilor.
Okay, so we'll move that.
Move
I got a
second.
quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, quick question.
Yes, just-
Brad, I'm on my cell phone, so would that be considered a secure line, or?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, I
Okay,
didn't know if I had to go back on the landline or anything like that.
No.
okay, it's been moved and second. Any discussion on that motion to go into executive session?
We need to have the time.
Yeah, what time do you wanna start? 11:22?
Let's start 11:22.
And I'm sorry, who made the motion? Craig, did you?
Yeah, I made it.
And then did you
Lynn,
second?
yeah,
Lynn seconded.
yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, it's been approved. We'll go into executive session, 11:23.
Give me that paper and send it to you.
Yeah, so.
Do I hear a motion to come back into, to leave executive session?
So moved.
I hear a second on that motion. I second it. Okay, 1 second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Disapprove, same, carried. Okay. We convene back into regular meeting.
Oh, Doug, could you open the door, please?
Oh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
need a little breathing in here. I move we adjourn.
Do I hear a second on that motion? I second.
You gotta be quicker, Lynn.
Lynn seconded. All those in favor, any discussion on the adjournment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.